8,000 people. He goes, I thought everybody was joking with me. A, good for your fucking ego. B, no motherfucker, it's real, and you agreed to split the room, so.
That sounds like crazy.
I get there, and they have assigned me this wonderful young man to show, ostensibly to show me around the convention. Yeah, I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that because of this story specifically. He did a wonderful job by me, as well as he could, because I looked at him and he's like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh, that's cute. They got me a hand. They're gonna try to keep me from seeing the weird shit. Oh, this poor motherfucker.
he figured it out right away.
So we're walking around and we're going through the dealers, and this poor kid is beside, like every time I got out of his sight, he would send me a text going, are you okay? And he wasn't subtle at fucking all. So I think it was Saturday night, I lost him intentionally at like 1 in the morning and went to the German room party.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm sitting on the bed, and I just sent this kid, and this kid's like, there's messages coming in from him. Like every 10 minutes, are you okay? I assume you went to bed. So he sends like at 1:30, 1:45 in the morning, I get a message. Oh, I assume you went back to bed. I'll contact you in the morning, and I'll show you where we can get some good breakfast. Yeah, so I looked at it for a minute. I thought I could leave this alone. Or I could send him a message asking where the pile is. 2 a.m. this kid got a message from me that said, hey, what's a mer pile? I've been invited to one. For the next hour and a half.
You do know that this boy had extremely explicit instructions from me directly, you know.
Oh, I know. What I love, though, is your director of programming who apparently got called about that and sent me one message that said, are you fucking with him? So we're going to the dealers today. We're in the art show section, and we're looking at the PG-13 art. And we notice people coming out of this curtain. Captain Eyebrows and I, we notice these people coming out of this curtained area. We look at the kid, we go, hey, what's back there?
Nothing.
And that's exactly what I said. Oh, it's really nothing. We go, no, there's a lot of people going back there. What's back there?
Nothing.
He goes, well, you wouldn't be interested in it. We go, we're looking. And we realize that there must be something back there, and something they don't want us to see because people are checking badges and stuff as they walk in. So we act really, really interested in the nice, beautiful PG-13 art. We even bid on some. Like we wrote in bids on the nice, beautiful PG-13 art. About halfway through, the kid looks at his phone and goes, oh crap, I've got an emergency staff meeting. And he looks very torn about whether he should leave us or not. We turn to him and look, we're lawyers, professionals, you can trust us. You go to your staff meeting, we'll stay right here. Right here. You know, so we'll be here when you get back. We're enjoying looking at these pictures. He goes, oh, okay, thank you so much. And he takes off. And I look at Captain Eyebrows and I go, okay, Dad's gone. Let's go look at porn.
I want to point out that at this time I thought he was respectable.
We walk back into the adult section. Let me give you a sampling of things that were said. Huh. Well, that's very well drawn. So that's what a crocodile pig looks like. We walk out and this poor kid is standing there with a look of terror on his face. He turns around and he sees us walking out from behind the curtain. Oh my fucking God. He runs over and immediately says, please don't tell me.
You just did.
Well, I told you before.
But
He told the audience.
Yeah. Because later that same day, and you must have been in your cups, because later that same day, you and I were talking, and you asked how I enjoyed the convention. And I told you that story, and the look on your face.
Oh, you mean the look of, professional curiosity?
No, you said, oh, excuse me, and walked off, and my main reaction was, oh my God, I just killed that poor boy. I was actually really happy to see him still alive this year. The funny thing about these guys, I've talked to these guys online, like I'm in chats with con chairs and stuff, and this is the problem with that. Every time there's drama on Twitter or anywhere online, the con chair's like, we can't say anything. We have conventions to run. We cannot involve ourselves in controversy. And they'll talk about that. And then in the middle of the chapter, all in caps, I will just go, I don't! And off to Twitter I fucking go.
Yes, you do.
Thank
You
you.
are a fucking hero.
I would like to take it an aside. Is everybody here aware of how this fine gentleman found himself involved in our pen? Is anybody not aware?
No.
Okay, they know the story. Oh, wait. He's not.
People did stupid shit.
Okay.
That's all you need.
The long and short, there's a large lawyer community. It's a national lawyer community that is called Lawyer Smack. It's at that time there was like 500 lawyers across the country. We'd all get on and talk to each other throughout the day. It's like Telegram for lawyers with less dick pics. Okay, actually, we started an After Dark channel on the Lawyer Smack, so that's not true.
Okay.
But anyways,
I bet you both sleep first.
I write a website called lawyersandliquor.com, and in it I talk about weird legal shit. And one day they sent me a cease and desist letter from a furry.
Sorry. Sorry.
And I dissected the cease and desist letter, and apparently you guys like it when people do something like that and don't say, oh yeah, these are the dog fuckers. That's all you have to not do. That's the only requirement. Don't call them dog fuckers, they like it.
We like positive attention.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. So the next thing, there's furries fucking everywhere. Like Easter's coming up, and I'm like sitting on the couch with a shotgun. Because I'm worried it's not the fucking Easter Bunny. So I get invited out to Furthermore, and then I go out to Anthrocon, and my opinion that it's amazing, it's nice, it's fun, I'll hang out here. At one point I said, the furries will lose interest. Like, what lawyers like, dude, you're leaning into this really hard. I'm like, the furries will lose interest. No, motherfuckers. Oh my God. But it turned out okay, because I went to IFC. And I was having a lovely conversation with this gentleman. And he looks at me and he says, my boy, we're fairly certain you were always a furry, you just didn't know what it was called. And I thought about that on the 9-fucking-hour drive home, as I was also wondering how I lost all fucking control of my life. I got home, I walked in, I looked at my wonderful spouse, and I said, sweetie, apparently we're furries now. And we always have been. And she looked at me and she said, oh yeah, I figured that out 2 months ago. She's like, I'm 2 personas deep, I haven't all. This was my kid's first convention last year. Time was my kid's first convention. I brought them at the end of the first day. I looked at my oldest child. I said, so what's your persona? And she said, which one? She has multiples. Recently, she told me her main persona is a cat with horns. So, Tien Long.
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
Good.
Oh boy.
My phone's broken, so I can't see his pistol responses.
Alrighty.
Hang on, we're gonna make sure. Keep talking, keep talking.
And you son of a...
What?
We met one fucking time 2 months later on fucking stage telling bad jokes to an audience full of people for no good reason.
Yeah, that's your best friend. You were good.
It's 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
He goes, oh yeah, we have a panel spot if you come out here. 1 a.m. 1 a.m. was the fucking panel spot.
It's a panel spot.
Guys, I'm in bed at 1 a.m.
Hey, look, we started the exact opposite of Fox and Pepper. Their first panel was at like 10 a.m. in the middle of nowhere. Ours was 1 a.m. And we got so drunk that we ended up with like 100 people in the audience going, they're going to die.
I did Pepper spot.
Pepper is-
Last year at IFC, Pepper had a sober convention. He did not.
Because he had to go somewhere the following weekend, and his manager was ready to murder him.
So he did not drink at all.
That's correct.
Here's the fun part of that. That didn't stop any of us around him from drinking. And it's really amusing to watch Pepper because I genuinely believe after IFC that he thought after his concert ended, nothing else happened at the convention. Because he was amazed. We walked into a panel after the concert, and he's like, they have panels at 10 p.m.? I didn't know this.
He has still one of the greatest moments of First Square. When we made him a guest, and he got so roaring drunk the first night of the con. And it's 2 years ago, and he has told the story, so I'm allowed to tell it. He was my guest. I was running the panel, and thank God it was me. The doors to the back of the room burst open. And here comes Pepper in full fursuit. Goose stepping up the aisle. Just bam, bam. And he was singing, he was like belting the graduation theme song. And just started marching up the aisle. And all of a sudden in the back of the room, here comes Dixie and 3 other people I don't know who just run into the room, grab him by the waist and say, sorry, turn around, and as they walk him out of the room, the motherfucker doesn't miss a beat, and with his feet not touching the ground is and just still goose-stepping in midair as they drag him out of the room. And like, this panel was a hit. This is the best
man
panel
is
in.
an elementary school teacher.
Yes,
by
he
the way.
is.
He is, I have First Square last year, Dixie's kids. If you guys know, Dixie is Fox and Pepper's manager. Dixie's kids and my kids had a
I'm sorry, what the fuck happened at my convention?
Dixie's kids and my kids had a room party.
Children having room parties! Bow! Why now? Thank you.
So, well, we go upstairs to check in on this, and we decide we're gonna go to bed. Dixie's son and my daughter are sitting and hanging around, and we said, guys, we're getting ready to go to bed. Her son says, come on, let's go hang out with Uncle Fox and Uncle Pepper. At which point I say, the last time we saw Pepper, he was running shirtless down the hallway on the first floor. And the kid, without missing a fucking beat, goes, okay, let's go hang out with Uncle Fox. And out the fucking door they go.
We have a tradition for a square, which you have both been a part of to a lesser extent. My crew works their ass off. And we have a rule. There is no partying Thursday night, there's no partying Friday night. And I make it up to them on Saturday. Saturday night, we throw a staff-only party in Con Suite. In a tradition, as weird as ugly head, of playing Slap Cup. If you don't know what Slap Cup is,
What?
Slap Cup. Slap Cup is where you take 24 red solo cups. You split 6 beers between them, and then you go to the drunkest person in the room and say, make me a mixed drink! And they put a bunch of alcohol into a glass, and that goes in the center. And then you play ping pong balls with yourself. Well, I walked into the room on round 3 of Slap Cup to find my guest of honor, my director of registration, my director of finance, my director of dealer's den, half of my staff, and 3 young men, shirtless, screaming at each other that the Cubs will never be able to compete against the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears. Pepper was the ringleader who had his shirt tied over his head in a pirate-like fashion. Looked at me and went, freeze! To the whole room, and they stopped. He goes, I have power. And he just walked out of the room with no shirt.
That is Pepper.
That is Pepper, and I love that boy.
Pepper, everybody says that there's a Pepper Coyote disappearing night, that he stands off to one side of you, and you turn to say something, he's just fucking gone.
We found out what that is.
I don't have that. I have the Pepper Coyote appearing act. Most cons I roll into like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. because I don't close my office for conventions very normally. I leave my office at closing, I drive straight to the convention. A lot of them I get to 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Everybody's already in their cups. I will walk to wherever everyone's congregated. Pepper Coyote is nowhere in the fucking room when I walk in. I pour a beer, I pick up the cup, I turn around, and he's right fucking here. And it's never normal. It's like, hey, did you know the middle class is falling away very quickly in modern day America due to the rise of capitalism and the growing wage discrepancy? And then he walks the fuck off.
That sounds like Pepper.
Pepper scares me sometimes.
Never mind.
Oh, did you hear a convention about an ambulance?
Okay, which one? You have to specify my.
We don't talk about the 2 years, dude.
They announced it. We can talk about
What are
it.
you talking about?
A convention recently bought an ambulance.
What?
Save money.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Think about it.
No, wait. No, I mean really, wait, back up.
Yep.
What?
They gotta offer emergency services.
God damn it, Boozy.
No, I mean for real, what?
EMGs will take you to the hospital.
What? I mean, what? Really? I mean, really, what?
Exactly. So, Sam, allow me to explain it to you like this. Sometimes a con doesn't read the law and does something really dumb. And now we're all getting sued.
Actually, guys, I look at these conventions and every lawyer part of my brain just screams, oh my god.
Dude, I look at these conventions and every financier part of my brain goes, no, dear God, no, and why is a bounce castle behind my main event?
Fuck.
You know the best telegram message I got this month?
What?
It was you sending me your liability waiver to review.
Fuck up. I am a financier, you are a lawyer. If you send me your checkbook, I will laugh at you.
Last year they invited, I went out to IFC, they had Snurf Wars. Snurf Wars there. It's a giant foam gun battle. He wrote the liability waiver for it. I go into the room to say hello to somebody, and the security guards, as they rightfully should, say, if you gotta be in here, you have to sign the liability waiver. And I said, fuck no. So they hand me the waiver, and I read it over, and then I say, can I get a pen? And they go, are you going to sign it? I go, no, I'm going to correct it. So I marked up their liability waiver, and I walked into comics. And I said, do you have a problem with your liability waivers? They said, what? I said, it's a wonderful waiver for 2016. This was 2017.
I was drunk for a year.
They put the wrong date on me. The thing that got me though was I was joking around, like I was fucking with them. But man, I walked into con ops and like their con chairs on the fucking radio, like, just so I know, like, I'm sorry. Like they're taking care of this shit. They take it very seriously. And I realized, oh, I started an issue.
You caught an issue, which we appreciate. Were you or were you not in the room when I was informed that we were about to lose all of our insurance? I remember you being there.
Yeah.
You might not.
Wow.
Myself and this wonderful gentleman over here were in con-ops on a late Saturday. Now, this is IFC, which means that I have been doing stuff. I am director of finance, but I also run what could be considered logistics, which means Wednesday at 9 a.m. is when my convention starts. So I'm done. I'm sitting there with my friend. When fellow furry walks into the office with a smile on his face, informs everyone, dude, they've got a bounce castle behind main events.
You have never seen a motherfucker move so quickly.
You need to understand something about insurance. When you get your insurance policy, you have to go through all this info. And then they have a question and answer section. 1. Are you part of the KKK? No, we are not. Oh, good, we won't increase your policy there. 2. Will you be shooting anyone out of a cannon? No, we won't do that. And this is not a joke. Will you have a bounce castle on the front?
Okay, I'm gonna back this up.
Yeah.
That is a question.
There is a special rider for inflatable amusement devices, bouncy castles.
Yeah.
Bouncy castles are death traps. The insurance industry did a paper on this. Bounce castles are death traps.
Now I need you just to understand why my fat ass moved like Sonic the goddamn Hedgehog. There's a reason that conventions have insurance policies. That is, if one of you fuckers shoots one of you other fuckers, you're covered. All they need to hear is there's a bounce castle there. And that con, and in this particular instance, 2 other conventions are no longer in existence. So I ran to main events with this guy cackling behind me. And I get in the back. Who do I find? A small kit of soft items that grown men, furries, are bouncing on. Nope. I found a gentleman who brought his personal inflatable bounce house and set it up backstage because it needed to be dried out, and then found every minor badge at the convention to come play it.
I had orgasm when I heard this, by the way.
I do not get angry. There's never a good reason to get angry. I find it to be, I don't like it. I was fucking furious. And I found the gentleman who brought this castle, and I had a talking to him. And he did not like the words that came out of my mouth. And he is now down in 1 bounce castle because when people heard it, somebody stabbed it. Because that was the proper reaction to we're going to lose a bunch of fur gods because you invited minors to jump in your house.
I just imagine like a fucking depot walking over this one. Fuck you, bounce house.
Basically,
The prison shipped it. Fucking rabbit made a shit out of you, but just walk over the bounce house.
but all the kids were still inside, so they suffocate.
Awards.
Kameraden in Berlin haben eine Bounce-Kasse auf your boat.
That being said, I did just see Uncle Kage's phone. There are a few people in this room, guys. I want to remind everyone why we're here. I got a wonderful opportunity to talk to our charity earlier today. This charity is the wonderful, wonderful charity. They are doing something that I love to hear that charities are doing. It's one thing for an animal sanctuary to take in animals that need it so they are not put down. To me, that is one of the highest callings out there. But there is a second one, and that is rehabilitating those animals. This particular charity has brought in trainers to take the animals so that they can re-enter the, for lack of a better term, the working/pet force. They are trying to put these animals back into homes where they can be not only cared for and loved, but also rain their love onto others. So guys, there's a small crowd in here. This is the money hat. If you can, please put a little bit of money to charity. If you cannot, do not worry about it. We are furries, and we will take care of it. My dear, would you please?
Actually, Kage just pointed something out to me.
What's that?
I have a glowing dildo now.
This happened.
Last week we were at Philadelphia, and I love you guys to death. I really do. I have 2 requests now. Last week I only had 1 request. That was a very simple request. It was that please stop giving me bottles of booze. What? There's so much in my basement right now that if I drop a match down there, the house is blowing up.
Okay.
Like if
We
children,
need to visit him.
if children come by my house, I swear to God, my kids are going into foster care. That's how bad it is at this point. I love you guys. I love whiskey. But please, for the love of God, everywhere I go, somebody gets me a bottle of whiskey, and it went from like a nice liquor cabinet down there to literally lining the fucking steps.
Yeah, I trip down steps sometimes in car fast.
Oh God!
There's nothing cuter than an otter falling downstairs with fucking jelly bottles flying behind them.
Would there ever be a point where we can remove the cartoons?
The manifesto? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. in a second. Most likely not, because let me tell you the manifesto real quick. We got to go back to Philadelphia, 2017 for that one. During their closings, and if you watch me during closing, you will notice one thing. Once they announce the attendance and the charity number, I'm done. I don't give a shit about anything else that is being said. I will sit there on my phone and I will ignore you.
Like most lawyers.
Exactly. So at Philadelphia, they had announced those two things. I was on my phone, I was paying no attention, and I looked up because the room has gone a little weird. There is a gentleman standing in the front of the room wearing a Guardians of the Galaxy hat and a t-shirt that says Laser Foxes. And he is rambling into a microphone about how furries were created by the government as a mind control experiment in the 90s.
Which con was this?
Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like InfoWars.
Now, my first thought was, that's a weird bit. Like, I thought the board had planned a little comedy bit during closing. And I continued thinking that until I saw the face of the board members up on stage and I realized, oh, this isn't a bit. This is a crazy man. Luckily, I came to this realization at about the same time their security team did, because their security team came in to remove him. He saw them coming in. He whipped off the Guardians of the Galaxy hat, put on one that said CIA, ripped his shirt off to reveal one underneath that said Vegan Space Force and screamed, and we are all shapeshifters. Do it now, Silent Bob.
Sounds like a great way.
I'm sitting dead center in the front row. This man is directly in front of me. Right after he screams, "Do it now, Silent Bob," he starts to reach into the knapsack at his side, and I say, "Well, this is how I die." Mom's gonna be confused when she gets the phone call. He proceeds to throw what can best be described as a giant wad of cash into the audience. Ooh. People begin scrambling for the cash as he is let out, still screaming, "Do it now, Silent Bob." And the con chair reclaims the microphone and says, "What the hell was that?" And I stand up with a fistful of 20s, without missing a beat, say about $600 for charity. And the bucket brigade goes around. Afterwards, somebody walked up to me and said, "Oh, were we supposed to give that money to charity?" And the only thought in my mind was, "Oh my God, they still think it was a bet. You assholes have no self-preservation instinct. I've been a lawyer in a major city for a long time. If a man starts rambling to me about the CIA creating a group of people and screams, 'Do it now,' son of a," I'm taking fucking cover. Don't bring your kids to a con and seat them near me because those are portable human shields. Anyways, last year at another convention, I got there rather late. And I'm there with a friend of mine who is present at Philadelphia, and we're sitting in the lobby, and we're talking to the con chair. And there's a gentleman on the peripheral of my vision. I keep glancing over, and finally I nudge my buddy and I say, "Doesn't that look like the Vegan Space Force guy from Philadelphia?" And he goes, "Yeah, but it couldn't be the same guy." I go, "Yeah, you're right." And he keeps walking back and forth by us, and then he walks outside and he comes back in wearing a CIA hat. And I go, "Oh my God, it's him!" He walked up to me shortly thereafter and handed me a box and said, "This is an Armenian brandy that I wanted to give to you." It was a very nice brandy box. I said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then I took the elevator up and he followed me and I walked to 3 other people's rooms to lose him. And then I went back to my room and I put the brandy in my suitcase and I went to bed and I didn't think about it. I got home and guys, when you give me stuff at conventions and it's liquor, like it's something I drink a lot, it'll get open regularly. If it's something I don't drink a lot, I put it down in my liquor cabinet. And then when I have people over, that's when I open it. So this box went down in the basement into the liquor room. 2 years ago, I didn't have a liquor room. I want to point this out. And I put it out of my mind. Now, several months later, I'm down in the basement. I see that box of Armenian brandy. I pick it up and I go, you know what? I am interested to know what this tastes like, because obviously I should drink the thing that the Human Space Wolf guy gave, right? I open the box and there is indeed a bottle of Armenian brandy. And wrapped around it is what could best be described as a manifesto. It was this thick, triple stapled, wrapped around the bottle, and it went into detail about this CIA being Space Wolf theory. Included with that was the gentleman's last will and testament, and a copy of his recent discharge papers from the hospital, with handwritten notes about how his doctor was a Russian spy. Here's the important thing. That bottle had sat in my basement for about 5 months in that box. There could have been literally anything in it. I would have no idea. So here's my new rule. Give me a box and a con, you fucking owe me.
Why did you post the manifesto online?
Because of the same thing. The gentleman, for some reason, I no longer have the medical records of Will, but the gentleman included his medical records in his all in the box, so I am uncomfortable posting the manifesto because I'm afraid it may end up, there may be something in it that I can't. Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
This motherfucker flew to Seattle to spend 3 minutes in a fucking ball pit. I just had to, I had to. I'm sorry. No, he had nothing to do with it. That is a heel lie and a rumor spread by communists.
He picked me up at the airport and I slept on his couch.
Communism!
He also conspired with me.
Oh yeah.
Communism is insidious, as you can see. Alkali, say things.
So there we were, balls deep in the convention. It
was IFC.
It is fun. You have to understand something. The characters that we do portray up here. I mean, it's not fun to hear the story like, and then everything worked out okay. We have to be like, and then the insurance company charged me $1,000 because they thought I was going to drive cars inside of a hotel.
That's a missed fucking opportunity.
I wish I would have realized what was going on. Yep, these things happen. All right, here's the short version. So, finance director has to get insurance. My insurance went up 1 year because we were having Ferraris at IFC. We put Ferraris in the main lobby so that people could view them, look at them, perhaps take pictures of them. My insurance company slightly misunderstood what I was saying and thought we were going to race them inside of a hotel. I learned 2 things that day. 1, be very careful how you describe to the insurance company what you are doing with your classic cars. And 2, not as expensive as you would think to drive cars inside of a building. Still expensive, definitely not as expensive as you would think.
Cheaper than the ball pit, bro.
Way cheaper than the ball pit. That is disgusting.
How much does it cost to drive a Ferrari in a ball pit? Tell your director of programming I have a new panel idea.
We are not doing that. Here's the thing. I run, for those of you who don't know, I run First Square. We had every convention has a, help me out, what's the mission statement? Mission statement. You're supposed to take your mission
It's that
statement.
thing in your articles of incorporation.
I haven't looked at that for 20 fucking years.
Really? I looked at it about 3 months ago.
Is it still applicable?
Yeah.
Great. Never mind.
Although I had to pull up, and what was it? He was on stage during the charity. Or no,
You
no.
were fact checking
He
us.
was on stage during Kage's story.
Okay,
Talking
June
about
30th is when it was issued.
talking about
alright?
when he signed the Articles of Incorporation for
I
Anthrocon.
signed him in April, for fuck's sake.
You know, Articles of Incorporation are public records in Pennsylvania, and I happened to order Anthrocon, so when he said that, I pulled them up on my phone, and he was wrong.
I was, okay, Anthrocon's Articles of Incorporation, Anthrocon was founded on 30th of June, 1998. I filed the Articles of Incorporation in April, and it's just, fuck you, because you're old, okay? There, fuck, there, I said it. It's just, he came up with all these dates and legal and bullshit and truth and crap and fake news and shit.
The best part of it was nobody wanted to tell him I was tweeting out fact checks.
God damn it!
I wish I had a Twitter.
You are insane. Ah! Awesome.
You can't see what I'm showing you.
Oh, but the point of the manifesto story was
Yes.
so this year, gratefully, some people heard my pleas to stop giving me fucking liquor until I drank some of the stuff that's in my basement. Instead, they gave me dildos.
I bet some were from Bad Dragon.
No.
No?
They were all from Primal Hardware. They came in a little baggie. One of them is a light bulb butt plug. It glows in the dark.
Wait a minute.
This is serious? I thought you were screwing.
Oh, they gave me a cactus dildo too.
What was the cactus?
No, wait, was that the one?
Yeah, we named it Kage.
Fuck you.
And then I told them that your mom's birthday was that weekend. Because they informed me that they can make fun of Black for him. So what I'm saying is I'm gonna send you a package in the next couple of weeks.
Your mom.
You're too late. You're too late, and I'll tell you why
You
you're
got
too
your mom a
late.
big black dildo?
I did. I'll tell you why you're too late. What is today? Somebody tell me, what is today? What's the date?
17.
Okay. In 1 week's time, my little old mom is making music on my phone.
She knows you're talking about her.
Let's fuck some more. What the fuck is going on?
Did your phone just start playing a YouTube video?
It did. In 1 week's time, my mom is delivering for the first and only time in Berlin, Grandma Kage's story hour.
You have no idea how disappointed I am.
Yeah.
Thank you there for that. No idea.
If you guys have not met Grandma Kage,
She's just an old senile woman who doesn't
All
know
right.
what she's talking about.
Let's go over to Anthrocon. Let's go over to a specific panel, namely the staff meeting. Now, this wonderful gentleman puts me doing stuff, so I was late to his meeting, and I felt very bad. And I walked in and I found a place that was open, and that place was leaning against the wall with his mother next to me. And she looked up at me, we know each other, and she smiled without missing a beat or asking, grabbed my jacket, opened it up, started going through pockets until she found flask number 1. Flask number 1 was my trick flask with Everclear in case anybody ever asks me to take a sip out of one of my flasks. She opened the flask, smelled it, and went, "Ah, happy," and took a sip. Handed me back my flask. As I'm staring at it, she goes in for flask number 2. So there I am, getting restuckered with this gentleman's mother, while he is up front going like, "Dogs shit in my dealer's den," and his mom is like, "I'd shit in there if I had the chance." I'm like, oh God. The meeting ends. People are leaving. I am collecting flasks. And the most glorious moment, it warms my heart. My coat, right now, I flew, so I could not bring the full set. My coat always has the same things in the same pockets, meaning I know what is in every pocket at any given time. I started collecting flasks from your mother. Flask 1, Everclear. Flask 2, that's the rum. Flask 3, what the? She had an extra flask! We don't know where it came from! But it was empty and it smelled sweet. It smelled very sweet. And as we're sitting there, Sam walks over. And in normal Sam fashion, like, yes, it is time for the convention. Mother, shall we go?
I don't talk like that.
Yep, I'm sorry, hold on, let me do the rocking. Mother?
I don't do that either.
Oh, you don't, really? You always look like you're humping air. Like, oh, hello, oxygen. H2O. And so, as you come over and talk to your mother, making eye contact with her amazing son. Never breaking. Reached up, went into the pocket, grabbed a flask, took a sip, put it back, and you didn't react at all! That was definitely a normal occurrence in your household! And who has lower pockets? Who has these? Hey Sam, why don't you tell everyone what your wonderful saintly mother asked me to bring her the next time I visit, because what if she needs to entertain?
Oh, I know.
What is that specific thing that she asked me to bring, Uncle Kage?
I can't remember.
You can't? Boozy, can you?
Bacardi 151.
That is a bottle of Bacardi 151 for entertainment purposes.
The old lady,
At least she'll be drunk for it.
her age is showing she didn't know what she was talking about.
You know, several months back, I went to go visit you, and you took me and your mother out to Duck Donuts. And we're sitting there enjoying our donuts, and Grandma Kage is cutting her donut. And the sweetest little voice, she looks at me and goes, I need hard liquor.
That's how you ask a normal parent.
And he said, now, Mom, the doctor said you could only have wines. So you have to get wine. She goes, well, if people come over, I'm going to need hard liquor for them. This goes on for a while. Until he says, I'm the one who drives you to the liquor store, so you'll be getting wine. And that stopped her. And she cut a piece of donut and took a bite and said to herself, just audible for everyone else at the table, it wouldn't take me that long to walk to the store.
Gentlemen, Mom has discovered Hoover.
Let's go to the Wayback Machine, shall we, Kage? You were at a convention, and well, at this convention, you were informed that you were throwing a furry party.
I was.
Yes, do you not remember?
Maybe, I don't know. What are we talking about?
Kage's at a convention when a random furry walks up and is like, hold on, you're here? That's amazing. There's a giant furry party going on at your condo complex.
Oh my God.
How long did it take you to figure it out, buddy?
When I had to call home. Okay. I'm the good son. It's like, oh, my poor little old mother. I must keep in touch with her. She might be frightened of the storm. She might have chest pains. I have to get... No. It's like the neighbors calling up. Your mom's being loud. We're calling the cops. My mom's Beta. Have you seen Beta upstairs? Yeah, my mom has a hooligan friend, Beta. They're like Thelma and Louise. They go out and terrorize the countryside. And when Beta calls me up and says, I think your mom might be planning something, I probably have said too much.
I just like the image of Grandma Kage having a rave.
Dude,
The constant cover noise complaint, a shirtless blue fox answers the door.
All right, no, okay. I'm gonna take you guys to Berlin last year.
There you go.
Euro currents. My poor, dainty, frail, little old lady mom. Her first year in Berlin without my father, who passed away. Oh, my poor mom. Will she be sad? She sent me a note. This thing. Could you come to my room Saturday night at 8? Because I thought she's got arthritis. She can't. Her necklace. I sometimes have to go to her room to like help her take her necklace off. So Saturday night at 8, I rode the elevator up to the Escola house in Berlin. And when I got off the elevator, the first thing I noticed was the hallway was filled with smoke. And there was this oons, 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 and laser lights and flashing lights. And I got out of the elevator, I looked down the hall, and there was Mom's little handicapped wheelie scooter sitting in the hall. And there was a door standing open, and there was lights coming out of her lasers and fog. And I went down there, and Mom was in there, and all the people were in there, and the ooze with the lights and the glow sticks and the suits. I stayed there about 20 minutes, but I have very sensitive hearing. I don't like loud places, so I stayed for about 20 minutes, and after that, I left. And when I went to the elevator, I pushed the button, and when the elevator came to Eurofront security guys, I'm talking German security. These are Prussians. It's like, real security. Hello, real security. And they looked down at me and they looked at me. I thought, oh, she's busted. So I went to my room and I went. And the next morning, I saw my mom at breakfast. I went up and I said, so, I noticed security heading to your room last night. She said, oh yes, they stayed about 2 hours.
That's what terrifies me about Dorsai. They really know what they're doing, and they are a scary, scary bunch at times. Like when they tried getting me arrested.
Didn't work, did it?
No, it did not work. There was an incident log at my own convention. My own damn convention. And the incident log reads as such. Undercover police officers have stopped into logistics at 10:45 p.m. complaining about a vagrant collecting money in the hallway. Turned out to be con chairman. He is loud. So, yeah, I'm in that book. I know you're both in that book.
Now, wait
a minute. What? Both of us?
Separate or together?
Separate.
Okay.
Separate. Boozy, perhaps you remember staying in a programming office until we were forcibly removed.
Oh.
Yep, that's the
yeah.
And Kage, I believe yours is along the lines of story hour without an audience in his own room at someone, question mark. You are as loud as I am, just so you know.
I am not!
Yes, you are! See?
Well, guess what? You gentlemen, you need to finish this shit because I'm old and going to bed. I have just one little thing to show you.
Do
and
it.
I'm going to show that to you. And that's it. I'm going to bed now. Good night. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. I have to go to bed. These guys are old, and I am old, so good night. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We are going. That will actually end it for all of us.
I believe that right there is the end of Monkey Knife Fights. For those of you who don't know, that was the amazingly talented Uncle Kage, the con chairman of Anthrocon, whose name I forgot there for a second. If you would like to see more of him, you can find him on his wine streams once a month on YouTube, the Uncle Kage channel. Seated to my right is the insane Boozy Barrister, aka the Boozy Badger. You can find him all over the internet, some of which is porn, most of which is YouTube and Twitch, if I remember correctly.
Give me my briefcase.
What the fuck?
It's over there, it's back.
Gimme, this has my real laptop in it.
Don't let it open up. Guys, my name is Uncle Kage. Tonight we have raised a little bit under $100 for charity. Thank you so much for your help. This has been Monkey Knife Fights. We will see you all tomorrow. Let's all get drunk. Drunk?
Wait,
Cigarette first. Cigarette. You're back.